This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. It should come as zero surprise that Republicans are vile, sinister hypocrites. Remember, her emails. She used a personal email account. Oh, what are we going to do? There needs to be investigations and hearings, which there did. It's important. It's a good rule that if you work for the federal government, you don't conduct government business via private email addresses and private phones. It's a good rule. A rule that Hillary Clinton should not have broken, that Colin Powell should not have broken during his time. It's a good rule. But my problem with the Republicans and their hand-wringing over it is that they're liars and hypocrites. Mark Meadows, it is revealed now that he has been voted in contempt of Congress by the committee investigating the insurrection he had a part in. It's been revealed that he indeed was conducting insurrection business with his private cell phone, using a private email address, in order that he shield his activities from the eye of oversight. Which is interesting because he's also trying to claim executive privilege for business. You can't have it both ways. You don't get executive privilege on your private communications. That's not government work while using your private communications layout. You don't get it either way, both ways. It's one or the other, brother. But nonetheless, hypocrite, coward, traitor to his nation, Mark Meadows did so. I'm going to read a little bit from this Insider article. Mark Meadows used his own cell phone, 2 personal Gmail accounts, and Signal, which is a messaging app, for official White House business, January 6th committee says. Mark Meadows, President Donald Trump's final chief of staff, used a personal cell phone, 2 personal Gmail accounts, and a Signal account for official government business, a report released on Sunday by House Select Committee investigating the January 6th Capitol riot said. The committee released a 51-page report detailing why it should hold Meadows in criminal contempt for defying its subpoena and cited a slew of documents Meadows turned over to the panel when he was cooperating with the inquiry. The bipartisan committee is expected to vote on contempt charge on Monday night. Well, they did so yesterday. He was held in contempt. Voted to be held in contempt by the committee. That charge is now going to be forwarded on. That vote is going to be forwarded on to the full House to vote. Same process as with Steve Bannon. If I'm making bets here, the House is going to vote him in contempt. They will forward it on to the Justice Department, where they will present the evidence to an impaneled federal grand jury, and they will look at the evidence. The proceedings are secret. They will vote in secret. And I believe he's going to be held in contempt. It will go to court. They will adjudicate it in court, and a jury will decide. Former chief of staff to the now ex-president, the then current president of the United States. The same president who made this a key issue of his campaign. The emails, telling Russia if they could hack in and find the emails, they would be greatly rewarded. Remember that moment. The panel wrote that Meadows, who served as chief of staff from March 2020 to the end of Trump's term, used his own cell phone and 2 personal email accounts to communicate about official business related to his service as White House chief of staff. He also sent messages through Signal, an encrypted messaging app, the report said. The government officials are required to use government-issue accounts and devices to communicate about their work or forward any private messages to their government accounts for public transparency and accountability purposes. Also, the law. It is the law to abide by the Presidential Records Act. And if he didn't, and if these aren't in the National Archives, then he violated the law. Meadows wouldn't be the only powerful Trump administration official to appear to violate these rules. Several top Trump White House officials were found to have used their personal accounts and devices to communicate about government business. And First Lady Melania Trump also used private email accounts to conduct government business, her former advisor, Stephanie Winston Wolkoff, told the Washington Post. Meadows and other Trump officials' private communications are particularly notable given the former president's aggressive campaign against Hillary Clinton for using a private email server while serving as Secretary of State. We all remember that. They all remember that. And it only goes to show that it's performative. They don't really care that Hillary Clinton used a private email address. I did. I don't think it's indictable, but it's absolutely something we should avoid because government business is the government's business. It's the people's business. That's why we pay for your cell phone. That's why we pay for your email address. And private business is private. But I'm not a hypocrite. Quote, we would ask Mr. Meadows about his efforts to preserve those documents and provide them to the National Archives as required by the Presidential Records Act, the committee wrote. Meadows provided emails and text messages, the committee said, showing how integral he was in Trump's efforts to overturn the results of the 2020 election. The committee said it wanted to question Meadows about his communications and actions surrounding the Capitol attack. All those questions need to be asked, but because he has no loyalty or duty to the United States of America, no particular proclivity to follow through on his oath, to support and defend the Constitution of these United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, speaking to his boss, enemy of the Constitution, enemy of the people, ally of himself. Gross. They don't care. They don't care about the rules. They don't care if they look like hypocrites. They are shameless, dignity-free gargoyles. Every last one of them. What do you think, though? I would love to know. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me, daily@dollemore.com. Thanks for your communication, all of it. I appreciate it. We'd better get to the bottom of this. We better hold our Democratic leaders accountable. I think the House is doing a decent job. But where's Merrick Garland? Is he taking a long nap? What is happening? While our country burns, while our democracy is floundering, what's the chief law enforcement officer doing? If we don't safeguard a democracy, it will be gone. Republicans will regain control, and they will make it so another Democrat never gets elected just by overturning elections at even a local level. Scary times. Follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore just about everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. And if I bring you value or information or a smile, possibly not today, but normally there's some, please consider supporting my work here on the platform for as little as $1.99 a month. You can become a channel member. Click the button below, the join button below this video. Check out what's involved for $2 a month. Or you can head on over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Those are two fantastic ways to help support my work. You can also buy a t-shirt on the little merch shelf there. Anyway, I love you guys so much. I appreciate you. Thanks for engaging with my content, liking, subscribing, doing all the stuff. And I'll see you next time. Until then, be genuine. Take care of one another.